Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Robb Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
What a life. Welcome to The Mike O'Mara Show. We are enjoying our second decade of the show that has become a daily routine. Can you tell I'm looking at my copy over here?
No.
Not
Just looks like you have a nervous tick.
We are enjoying. We're heard in Old Orchard Beach, Maine, Lavernia, Texas, Molalla, Oregon, Wheaton, Maryland, Rolling Hills, Wheaton, Maryland. Wow.
Mike, that's a beautiful
yes.
place. This time of year, if you're going to go to Wheaton, go
Wheaton.
this time of year.
Remember, I grew up in Wheaton.
Yes.
Not proud of it.
Yes.
That's what
Wheaton.
we had. That's what we had.
Maryland, my Maryland.
Is the statue still up there, Oscar, of you? In Wheaton?
No, if you drive down Paydog Lane, you'll see the Trail of Tears. And I mean, no knock on, history in America. I'm saying of the latchkey kid that had to walk from Oakland Terrace Elementary School to basically Georgia Avenue.
So very sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
Rolling Hills, California, also Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. A lot of good hockey players in that part of the world. The Mike O'Mara Show is on now. We're happy to have you. We have the mailbag today. I'm not sure whether we're going to get to it because there's a lot going on that we have to discuss. We've got Oscar's romantic getaway that I want to talk about on the show today. I believe that I have a deformed finger now, permanently disfigured, due to an infection that I am taking antibiotics for. But it seems to be, if you can see that black part,
Yeah.
and I'm going to hold it up without, because if I held it up with the middle finger just sticking out, you would really see that that would be the meme for the day. That would be all over the place, and I don't want that. This is so between in the cuticle between the nail bed and the skin on this, there is a series of flesh-eating bacteria that causes the skin to regrow and regrow and regrow. Did you just throw up in your mouth, Oscar?
Yeah, gross.
It is so gross. It is so nasty, and I am now able to put pressure on it, and that is progress. But it's been a pain. When I went to the Medcare guy,
like an urgent care guy, or
the urgent care guy,
sure.
The doctor said, he explained that this is extra growth here that happens when you have an infected cuticle, and it causes its own separate. And he referred me to a hand specialist.
Oh, that's good.
He said he did not have. He said you should remove this part, cauterize it, and that's it. Well, why couldn't he do that? It's a minor procedure, I would think, but he couldn't do it. Then I went to my own doctor. I didn't see him. God forbid you see a real doctor. And his PA, Jesse, told me that, just to take the antibiotic and soak it in warm water. But it's still here.
Well, Mike, when you look at it,
after like over a week.
As it continues to grow, does it have any facial features on it?
It does not continue to grow. It just does not go away, and it still hurts a little bit, and it's driving me out of my mind.
Go to any run-of-the-mill nail salon. Tell them what
That's
you got
what Carla said.
Yeah.
That's what Carla said. That's what she said.
Yeah. That's what you got to do. I've had what you've had before, and I know. I felt like this is painful. It's not going away. It's unsightly, and then you go and and I just went to my mom and I said, "Mom, what's going on?" And she took out these cuticles, and it was painful.
Sure,
but she knocked it out.
And if you're on antibiotics, I mean, you're already fighting the infection. What you need is just the physical removal. I had a benign tumor on my hand. I went to a hand specialist to have it removed.
God, you leave it to you to gross out.
It was benign.
Really?
It was nothing.
Well, if anything's going to grow on anybody, it's probably going to be Rob, right?
Anything.
What the hell does that mean?
Tumor, though.
Tumor. I mean, it's not like I have moss growing on the north side of my body.
Not a tumor. I didn't know you had. When did you have a hand tumor?
It was.
It's disgusting.
When we were doing afternoons, it was, and they had to cut out like a football size little piece of.
It's not a football size.
No, I mean football shaped. Forgive me. And so
football sized on your hand.
Huge hands.
Were you pregnant? Were you pregnant and didn't know it?
Mike, I'm not good with sports. I meant
sports games.
They cut out a football-sized section of my hand.
No, it was a football shaped like a little wedge out of it. And for a long time, this thumb couldn't bend back because they had to stitch it back together.
What about a peanut? Isn't that a similar shape?
A peanut?
As a football, like a peanut size?
Probably would be.
Yeah,
probably would be.
It was about peanut size but football shaped.
How did you get it?
I don't know. It just happened. No, Mike was on my left hand.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Not your work hand.
Yeah.
I'm grossing myself
Yeah,
out now,
I mean, you asked the question. But anyway.
I know. Well, no, I didn't ask for that.
Well,
I
you
didn't ask
indicated that.
For your tumor. I don't know which is grosser, my finger or your tumor.
I don't know. Well, we should save them both.
It's so nasty.
But I went to a hand doctor. There was actual hand specialist.
So when I look up hand doctors, I see orthopedic surgeons.
Yeah, probably. But this guy did just hand work. His place was called the Manos Center, which is, I guess, Latin for hand. And there were several visits, and every time they put me in a different waiting room, and he had a different diploma on his wall, like med school, and he was a college graduate. And I thought, God, enough of this. The fourth time I went, there was his Eagle Scout diploma framed
in another room.
In another room. He just wanted everyone to know what a great guy he was.
No. That's part of the deal that doctors put up their credentials.
Yeah, but
like
Eagle Scout, and then I was mad because he didn't give me any painkillers. What a jerk! He said Tylenol is good.
Did he numb it before he did the thing?
Yeah, he did.
Did he numb your hand? Was it a local, or did he? It was a local.
It was a local.
Okay, all right, and then it was successful. Is there a scar?
I could probably, if I stared, there's a little scar. But I can have full motion of my thumb now, which before I couldn't get it up any higher than that because they took out the football-sized piece of skin. It was actually, Mike, the size of a cage ball, if you're familiar with it.
A cannonball.
But I think that I think a manicurist could do yours.
You know, it doesn't hurt as much. I'll let you know. I'll see. I'm not going to do it today. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, but then if you get a bad enough I guess infection, you could die. So you have to be careful.
Yeah, you could end up looking like Dr.
antibiotics.
Mike, you'll end up looking like Dr. Nicholas Van Helsing.
Which Rangoon. I think that excuse me.
Oh dear.
I think that with this situation, being on the antibiotic, which also I was warned is a new antibiotic, so you have to be.
Is it the Johnson & Johnson antibiotic?
You have to take it with food.
Okay.
And speaking of Johnson & Johnson and Moderna, best wishes to my wife, who is having a little day after her
Mike,
Moderna.
This happens to more people than I'd like to, cop to, because I want this thing to go in and out, and boom, bam, you're done.
It just means it's working. That's actually.
I am so paranoid that, but with me, nothing, not even a sore arm, which means I'm still susceptible to it.
But that's a pure Irish in you, Like
really?
That you.
Maybe it's blood type. I don't know what my blood type
you're
is.
Fighters on all sides, even biomedical.
Mm-hmm. Inside my body, I'm fighting that thing. You're not going to give me an allergic reaction.
The only thing that would make you hurt, Mike, is if you had a British vaccine.
A British vaccine. The potato vaccine, made out of potatoes. That's what it is.
I get my second shot of Moderna today at 12:45.
You confirmed right before the show, right?
Yes.
You're all good to go. Good.
I'll be interested to see how. And by the way, she went over to the place where they're giving them out down here in South Florida, and she went in early. And they had no problem with that. That's where we are, I think, in the vaccination process right now.
Mike.
It's getting easier to get them.
Yes.
A lot more people have them. Got a call from my doctor's office, a robocall this week that said we now have the vaccine. So hopefully more and more people continue to do this.
In Montgomery County,
like we suggested
50% of the residents already have one shot. Say.
That's it. It's very similar numbers down here in our state, and we're excited about it. I hope we can do that.
Seems like we would never get here.
Though I will never shake anyone's hand ever again. It's all elbows and fist bumps.
I'll do fist bumps. I think that's the. Yeah. Oh no, I shook a hand. When did I shake?
I don't want a sweaty palm ever
when
again.
Did I shake?
I have really cut down on my hugging. When I see people, Oscar,
are you still licking people?
Yes, but only by Mike. I only go when I'm invited. They say please.
Only the ear.
That's right. You should send Pony to get you some vitamin C and take a big dose. Actually, as soon as possible. It really helped me. It did.
Hey, Pony, I need another Red Bull and vitamin C. I'll Venmo you.
How about you get the vitamin C from those wonderful liquid IV packets out there?
Oh, yeah. Why don't you give me
how
one of
about
those?
that? Thinking about the sponsor. How about Pony Boy Matt Bloom? Oscar and Rob weren't thinking about the sponsor.
Actually,
Pony Boy was.
I took the liquid IV when I took my vitamin C. I actually used it to wash it down. It was double
That's
dose.
with Oscar having a tantrum when the show started today. I heard him in the background yelling about labels or something like that.
I just like it. I like it when things say what they're supposed to say. You know what I mean? Right. Because then that doesn't confuse anybody if they get hit by a bus.
Well, I heard you ranting, and then I heard the dead silence on the other side, which means something was wrong and something was freezing everybody in the studio.
I was a monster this morning. I will cop to it, but I like things done the right way. And
can you tell, Rob, when Oscar comes in? Can you tell? Like you can tell with me if it's going to be one of those.
The
days.
tell for Oscar is if he gets here before 8:59:40. Because then he's got
when he gets in, he hates being here early.
Yeah, I was pleasant early. I was pleasant yesterday. I was here early.
Yeah, actually, he was.
Yeah.
But I think it was because he was excited to be back, and that's worn off now.
Well, speaking of Oscar, let's get right to it.
Yes.
Yesterday we were talking about your thrilling vacation down here in Miami.
Yes.
And your death-defying ashes that you scattered 1.5 inches off the shoreline.
I don't understand why that bothers you so.
Because I did, you don't want to go 20 miles off the coast,
right?
But if you're scattering them, do you really want me to tell you what I'm thinking about?
Yeah, sure.
All right, if you're scattering them like ankle deep in the water, they're immediately washing back on the beach. They're really not even being scattered in the water.
I watched it go out to sea. I watched it go out.
Rob, let's be honest. The waves are going one direction.
How about this? You shut up.
I'm just saying.
It's
a lazy man scatter. That's the bottom line.
You know what, Oscar? I look forward to scattering Oscar's ashes. And when Oscar dies, I'm going to flip and rent the Dandy. And I'm going to put all my friends on it. And we're going to put the ashes on and we'll dance on the deck and sweep them 40 miles to sea.
Right.
Well, there's Oscar in the tidal basin. Set off the fireworks.
The only thing I can tell you is my own personal experience. If you would like to know that.
All right.
If you would like, I'm more than willing to share it.
I wish you would.
Okay.
Yes.
A bunch of us got on a very small little boat and went off the home, our home up in Maine, our family home, my father's family home, not mine. And we went off there and we scattered them. And Kathy had flower petals that she threw on top of the water as well. That's the way we do it.
That is beautiful. The boat was not an option for us. He specifically asked for this one stretch of beach.
Yeah.
And also, we had to be sort of...
Was there a pier anywhere nearby or a dock or anything like that?
Just the beach. He wanted to be... We followed his directions.
What about paddle boats?
All right.
What?
Paddle boats.
Maybe you could try one without a life preserver and a windy day maybe would be great. Where there's a nice chop. Have a few drinks and go out.
I thought
and
it was
here's
a
the
lovely
best thing:
story.
go
And
out,
you told it
Oscar.
so well.
Go out by yourself. You don't want to be distracted by anyone on your windy paddle boat day. Do you have? And an Ambien is good because if you drink and take an Ambien on a paddle boat, you can relax and enjoy the cherry blossoms. Stupid ass.
It was, it was interesting. I found it interesting. It was, let's just say you didn't plan it like the fall campaign in World War II. I mean, it was just kind of let's take the box down to the shore. That's really what it was.
And it was a really nice moment for me and my father. So there's that. And
there's that a-hole.
Yeah,
so put that in your pipe.
I'm sorry we didn't have any flower petals, but maybe next time.
Well, I mean, there are right ways and wrong ways to do things. That's all. No,
like when you talk to someone about how they scattered their relatives' remains. There are right ways to do it. A beloved relative. When you're talking about the final destination of one's godfather, there are proper ways to sort of purse out your advice. Then there's more forward ways to do it.
I understand. Yeah, perhaps
if you need to lash out, it's fine.
He has to.
Don't need your permission, Oscar.
We let him lash out. Yeah, go ahead. That's very cool.
It was a very, very satisfying
My favorite
end.
moment was when you both sunk down into the beach.
Yes. That was not my favorite.
Don't really
moment.
need a physics lessons to explain why that happened. You know, I mean, that's down to both soft sand and and men of larger carriage.
Sure,
down to mid calf in the beach.
Makes me wonder about when I'm cremated, how long the fire will last. Probably days. There'll be a new Jewish festival based on it. The lamp burned for 8 days and nights.
Didn't we have a story on the news that Maine has now legalized Viking funerals?
Yes.
Was it Maine? I didn't know if it was Maine. I know one state did. Yeah.
It was Maine. I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever want that.
That would be so cool.
It'd be cool, but it also would be a little bit gross.
Beautiful.
You're ultimately, cooking a human body.
Yeah, the smell of burnt honey is not what anyone wants when they wake up.
Bet it wouldn't smell like honey. Yes.
Think about the scene. And by that time, little Michael, God willing, middle-aged Michael will be like a champion archer.
That's very kind of you to say. That's a very kind lie.
When does middle age start? So he's giving you at least 20 years, Mike. That's nice.
He lights the flame right off the rocks, and then he pulls back.
Yeah, you're thinking, boom, I'm thinking the same thing.
Well, no, I think it would be a modified Maine Viking funeral where Oscar goes to that fireworks store, and we actually light the boat with a Roman candle.
I would say if you had a Viking funeral, you'd have to have the proper boat. That's an expense right there.
It should be wooden.
Well, what's not fiberglass, you moron.
It would melt.
It's going to be, and the arrow is what I say. And it doesn't, by the way, flaming arrows don't work like, I would give you $1 million that flaming arrows do not work like they work in the movies.
You've never watched the Dukes of Hazzard. They work perfect every time.
Every time. Where they pull the flaming arrow and they land and the whole thing goes up. Doesn't work like that.
No.
You got to get the right spot where the accelerant is,
Yeah,
that's
but
the way
unless
it would work.
maybe if instead of once you
I think it would have to be lit at the shore and then pushed out into the lake or the bay.
What if you, instead of oiling the wood, you just, with proper oil, you use kerosene?
Sure.
So if there's any striking of the wood with the fire, then you're good to go.
Yeah, I think Oscar has a good point there.
What if, you were covered in a cloth, which you would be,
right?
And
Shroud.
The cloth burned off, and the body burned, but you still have the face going. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, the relatives horrified from the shore.
Keep it. I don't need people looking at me at that point.
What if seriously it floats back to the shore and you see a skull with teeth?
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Really?
I mean,
seriously.
You get up the next morning and the boat's there. It's got a little char around the edge, and it looks like one of the Nazis from Raiders of the Lost Ark class scene.
Yeah, like the
partially melted.
Off.
Yeah, exactly.
Be scary. It would be really scary to me. It would. Let's start this discussion about you went away to the beautiful eastern shore, an area of the United States where I lived for a while.
Yes,
made most famous.
I know why now. By the way,
really,
it's beautiful.
It's beautiful now.
It is gorgeous.
Springtime is beautiful.
Oh, my God.
The most notable feature is the bridge that Maddie is terrified of, the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, which I commuted over for a number of years.
A close second after the bridge, Mike, is the windmill with the pigs on it for Red Hot and Blue.
That is on the western shore outside of Annapolis. Is that store still there? Would either one of you know whether that store is still there?
I know it's there. I don't know if it's operating. The last time I drove by was months and months ago.
All right.
I don't know. They're probably doing a lot of takeout these days. Not sure if it's still running.
Yeah.
So you go down there. Our friend Charlie Burney has an ownership stake down there.
Friend and business partner. So just briefly, my wife had her Moderna shot scheduled this past week when we were on vacation. So there was no chance we weren't going to forego that or reschedule that. We weren't going to go anywhere. There were thoughts of possibly going to Florida, maybe somewhere nice. And then we realized right away that with some responsibilities at work and especially the vaccine, it wasn't going to be smart to be at least an hour and a half away from the city, from actual work, right? So Charlie Burney was kind enough to say, look, why don't I put you guys up at the cottages, which are these beautiful river homes. There's 3 of them. They're gorgeous.
On the banks, I remember the river. On the banks of the Chester River.
Yes, Mike.
Right?
Yes. And it's you can find out all about
the Chester
them.
the Molester River.
Mike, how dare you? At
I remember, Mike, it was in all the papers.
QHgolf.com. Can I get a little ding on the register? Because
that's Queens Harbor, if I remember correctly.
Gorgeous
yes,
harbor.
Yes, yes.
It is
Queenstown Harbor.
If you come, Queenstown Harbor. Sorry.
Yes.
If you go down to the Eastern Shore and you're a golfer and you want to play a great golf course, Queenstown Harbor, one of the most beautiful courses.
36 holes.
Mm-hmm.
36 holes. Right on the water. Just
218s,
gorgeous.
baby. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. How many holes did old Fantana play?
You played golf on your vacation?
Mike, when you are in a cottage that sleeps 8 with 2 people and your dog, you gotta do something, right? Did I play golf? No, not at all.
Oh, none? Zero? Bagel.
Zero golf.
Oh, no.
Okay, but you don't golf anyway, so what
I
the
would
hell?
like
You
to.
don't care.
By the time it's done, and this is what's
He
great
has
about
an outfit, I think.
This
Don't
is
you have
what's
an
great
outfit?
about I like looking good on the links.
Sure.
You know that.
Yeah.
Did you think that when you went down and they put you up at a golf resort that you were going to hit the links? Did you think that you were going to do that?
I didn't think that. I thought we were just going to get away and have.
Okay.
Look, I'm a fan of seeing the water. Not. I don't have to get into it. I don't have to jet ski. I don't have to do anything.
Well, for God's sake, go in far enough that Mike thinks it's okay.
Seeing the water
up to your knees
beautiful.
at least.
Especially when you live in the city.
That's true, though.
Right? You just don't get that. And
you should have gone at least waist deep.
And Mike, if I did that, the tides would have changed.
Yeah, probably.
So, we get there. It's beautiful. Charlie's completely set us up.
They are beautiful, beautiful facilities.
Yeah, it's just gorgeous. And for me, look, he didn't have to do that. It was just something kind that he's like,
he's a very nice man,
get away.
Our business partner. Really
I call him. I say, Charlie, congratulations. There are so many people out here playing golf. Like, I'm happy your family business is like killing it, right? Mm-hmm. And Charlie says to me, are they ruining your time? And I said, no.
That's classic Charlie. That is such classic Charlie that would be his first concern.
So sweet.
Yeah.
So sweet. So we're there, and if I'm being completely transparent with you, it was some necessary time away. Even if you're not at the office or at the studio, sometimes a change of scenery really does refresh the mind.
Oh, absolutely.
100%. Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
So 2 things happened. One, and let me just highlight this just briefly. I haven't seen my wife this happy in about, I would say, a calendar year prior to the pandemic.
I thought you were going to say ever.
I was going to say prior to the marriage.
Prior to the pandemic. And there was probably,
she loves a great getaway. She does.
Oh, I didn't realize this. And I see her in the kitchen. We bought groceries. She's making dinner.
When she saw the kitchen, did she ask what it was?
No, she didn't ask what it was.
Can we have one of these?
The quote of the week was, I said to her, I was like, Peach, you look so happy. I'm so happy we got a chance to do this. And she says, she goes, this is beautiful, but this oven is spectacular.
Poor woman.
And for those of you not in the know, if you want to get on the calendar when Fantana's Cheap Chip finally said, it's I have to do something about this, is with the honesty and passion where she's talked about that oven like it was a brand new car. Yeah. I said it's time
to sell the Thimble House and
it's time to just do what we can do in our little townhouse. Because we can put an oven in, I just didn't want to spend the money.
Are you ever gonna? So is the plan? You're never letting your claws out of that house, then, right?
Mike,
you want that house to be where you want to be. That's what you want.
I wanted to buy another home in Georgetown.
Well, you can't buy in Georgetown, right?
Clearly, and the city kitty doesn't want to move, right?
Okay,
so I got to make the most of
the city kitty, Mike. It's the city kitty.
Yeah.
City kitty,
because he's Oscar in the city.
Married the city kitty. So she likes the city, but she liked the amenities that you would have in a regular. But you have the capability of building a kitchen in your house.
Yes, we do.
All right.
For me, if I'm being completely transparent, the quotes we received to build the kitchen just didn't make sense to me. It's just so expensive.
Well, I remember the first quote
I don't want to do this.
The first quote he got from a contractor was, quote, ha, 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 close quote.
And then somebody said, don't do it, sell your house. And for us, without a child in place, and we'll talk about that in 2 seconds, not that one's coming, but one was attempted, or not attempted, and we we don't have a kid. Like, I'm like, there's enough square footage. Even if we had a kid in the next few years.
Have a kid in the next few days, Mike.
I don't know how it works. You guys tell me.
It takes a couple of months.
Well, as long as he's being fully transparent.
They're still little, right? They're still little. They can figure it out.
Well, you don't have a stove to burn his hand on.
He could dig. He could run in the back.
It's a good ass.
So she loved. Sometimes it's hard to translate.
Yeah, she loved the kitchen.
The cottage.
Yes.
She loved the cottage, but she loved the kitchen.
Was it a little efficiency, like with a bedroom and a living room and a kitchen area?
They have like 4 huge bedrooms with 8 beds and big screen TVs. This is not a cottage. It's like a mansion.
And if I remember, the kitchen is a beautiful layout with an island, right, that separates it from the living quarters. So
you've got
this
at
is
least,
ideal.
I would say,
cooking
30 feet of just river in front of you, just these beautiful windows. It's gorgeous.
Oh, that's gorgeous. That's fantastic. No wonder she was so happy.
Yes. I said, look around, Peach. We'll never afford this, but Charlie can hopefully help us out one day and let us stay here on occasion. God bless him.
Off season.
But open to the market. Get out there. They're booked.
Wow.
I've
never been, and I want to go so badly. I really do.
I thought about you, Mike.
Advantage of that.
A couple of things came to mind. Friends that I don't have anymore. And then friends that we could have invited. I didn't invite Charlie, but he was going through his second round of Moderna. So, and he just wasn't feeling up to it. And for him, probably he's like, I don't want to go back to that place. I was there for 14 years.
Yeah.
I built it.
Yeah.
The second time, maybe the third time we've mentioned it on the show right now since I got Pfizer and had absolutely no reaction. Everybody's having these little reactions, and I'm 6 months down the road. Well, it's proven the Pfizer was actually not effective. That's why no one had allergic reactions. That's the way. That's just my own paranoia. I swear to God. What is it like to have a mind that does that?
My mom didn't have a reaction. She had Moderna.
Yeah.
My mom didn't have one either.
This is a Mike. This is a label. It says Pfizer Placebo. What does that mean?
It's a placebo.
Okay, quickly. How much time do we have, Rob?
We should break
2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Okay, I'll leave you with this teaser, and maybe we'll go on the other side of this. What I didn't realize is my wife thought this may be a time to, really stop thinking about work and be romantic. And
I'm going to stop you there, because we are
yes.
going to postpone our homepage. We'll do it later in the show.
Good.
When we come back, the whole point of this was Oscar's romantic getaway. There was a brief mention of trying to conceive children. I'd like to hear all about every dirty detail of that.
My pleasure.
I want to find out what's going on.
And
so
did she use the stove?
Did she use the stove? Make you something nice. I want to find out.
Yeah.
Oscar's little getaway and his weird little life. We'll take a break and we will come back and more fun and more thrills here with more Oscar when we come back on the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody. And thanks a lot for listening in Wheaton, Maryland. A special salute going out to our city of the day.
Thanks, Mike. Time now to check the TMOS Community Bulletin Board. Tonight is bingo night in the social hall at Our Lady of the Perpetually Bleeding Ulcer. Early Bird Bingo has a $500 jackpot. Do you like flapjacks? Well, if you do, the Loudoun County All-Star High School Jazz Band has a night for you. They're holding a fundraiser to pay for their trip to south of the border in South Carolina, and it's tomorrow night at Oscar's House of Pancakes from 6 to 6:15. If you have a question, thought, or birthday request for the TMOS mailbag, send an email to Robb at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Remember, Robb has 2 B's. Or send it through snail mail to TMOS Mailbag, P.O. Box 32101, Washington, D.C. 20007. They also like packages. And that's your TMOS Community Bulletin Board. Now back to more hijinks on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Thank you, Jim Amato. We appreciate that. This portion of the Mike O'Mara Show brought to you by Kiwico. Kiwico believes in the power of kids. And that small lessons today can mean a big world-changing idea tomorrow. We love Kiwico. They want to kickstart curiosity, creation, and innovation in kids right here, right now. With a Kiwico subscription, your child gets a fun project every month, perfect for trailblazing toddlers to more experienced explorers like my son, and every stage in between. Kiwico does the legwork for you so you can spend more quality time tackling projects together, and the best part, watching their confidence grow as big as their smile. I love that Kiwico got my son interested in astronomy and physics. It's an awesome way for him to stretch his big brain in a fun way at home. He absolutely absolutely loves it, and I know your little person will like Kiwico, and you'll like it as well. No telling what a Kiwico kid can do. Kickstart curiosity, creation, and innovation in kids today, and discover a brighter tomorrow. Get 30% off your first month, plus free shipping on any crate line with the code TMOS at Kiwico.com. That's 30% off your first month at KIWICO.com, promo code TMOS. We are back to Oscar's romantic getaway.
Yes.
I am, it's funny when you tell these stories, when both of you're both good storytellers. We're all good storytellers on this show. When you share that, it immediately it transports me there. I picture her in the kitchen, just excited. The little things that some people, people take for granted things that they see every day. And if you have a different modified world where you don't see that, you've got that river, you don't see that every day.
No,
she's got the big kitchen, which she doesn't have at home. That's very, very river.
Look at you can look out the window down by the river.
I just sent you a quick picture, Mike, for reference of the
floor plans
cottage.
are gorgeous.
So you have it on your phone. You'll have the text coming through right now.
Awesome. Okay.
So for me, this was it was really kind of a workation, but we're working remotely, which is fine. And
why are you working? Can you ever just take your Podville thing and chill for a little bit, or what?
Well, I was also working on TMOS as we had a business meeting yesterday.
I'm glad you did that. That's important.
Actively
That's very,
digging
very
into the Facebook, basically statistics, and to see what else we could do to move the meter for this year and what's possible.
Right.
And then Apple had this huge announcement this past week where you're going to see a lot of opportunities for podcasts, and Spotify will make one this week to help grow and monetize their frankly, their not just their shows, but other shows they work with. So it's gonna be great. So there was a lot of that.
No off switch. I love that.
And I had a fantastic, and you know what? What's really nice is when you are outside of the office, if you want to have a meaningful conversation with clients or friends, like you have the time to actually just have that conversation. Where it's not like, okay, I got to go because I have an 11 o'clock. I'm sorry, bye-bye. Gotta go, right?
I get it. Okay.
So it worked out. So my wife, prior to her Thursday Moderna, Wednesday Moderna, whenever it was, midweek, she looked at me, she goes, could you imagine us like having a family in a home like this one day? I said, maybe this is great, but I'm not picking up on like what she's trying to send me signals.
And Oscar said, look at the clouds.
Hey, it's breeding time. breeding time.
So my wonderful wife, who is beautiful, and I do not deserve her. I just don't. And I'm not going to say that many times.
Very sweet.
I'll say
very
that today.
correct.
She because I'm watching the television, just enjoying whatever's on. She goes, isn't it time for bed? I'm like, we don't really have to wake up early tomorrow. Like, we're good. Like 4 or 5 times she's telling me this as she's going in and out of the bedroom.
It's just 3 o'clock in the morning.
This is around 11:30.
Okay.
And like when we are, remember how much I enjoyed visiting you the couple times we did in Maine, Mike?
Yes.
Where it's completely
different.
different.
You were into Maine. Into Maine.
Yeah, and you go to bed early. No problem.
Right. Oh, that is
like in Maine. Like it's something that you're like, oh, this is great.
Well, you got an early sunrise there too. So your schedule almost shifts in Maine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I was like, maybe we should go to bed early. But every time she's popping out of the bedroom, and thank God she doesn't listen to this show. She's got like I finally pick up. I'm like, what are we going out? Like, what's going on here? Like she's makeup. Like
you're totally missing the signals.
I'm missing the signals. Like the rube of rubes.
Yeah.
And then she comes out and, she's got not lingerie, but something more than just the burlap sack she usually sleeps.
Something provocative?
Something different.
Yes.
And I'm like,
look, I'm not trying to be a pervert.
Yes.
I realize that grosses you out when I do that. But you went there. Since you went there, could you give us just a little more detail?
What is the matter with you?
Just a little more detail on the outfit, the getup, the costume.
I mean, it was nice. But it was, look. Once you've been married for 4 years.
Were they shorty pajamas, maybe?
No, there was no. I don't think there was any
Would
shorts to
the
them.
description involve the phrase French maid?
No.
See, you're just immediately doing like
You've ruined the moment.
You have ruined it. I was really trying to.
I do believe Oscar might have already ruined the moment when he was there. So
I'm curious about the makeup that she looked like she was maybe had made herself up earlier in the evening, perhaps.
Yeah, for me, and I'm just bearing my soul here. She looks the same to me every day. She just does. Like, it's not like, like when she comes back from my haircut, I fake saying, "Oh, nice haircut," because I know that's what you're supposed to say.
Her baseline is lovely. She always looks lovely.
Like
Oscar is right.
What went sideways is she had baked some chicken that day. Because there's a grill outside, but we baked. She wanted to use the oven. She was excited.
Sure.
I think she's out of reps on an oven because the chicken was not good. And my stomach was kind of bothering me, and I let her know that.
Was it undercooked chicken?
Might have been.
Oh,
Might
dear.
have been.
Not good.
So
Tough for certain plumbing to work if other plumbing's not
thank you.
happy.
So I said, I'm so sorry, Peach. I know that you want me to do clapping push-ups on top of you, but my stomach's killing me. Like, I just don't know. And then she went, okay, and then straight to bed. And the next morning, when I felt better, I was like, all right, time to pay the taxes. Let's do this, right? Even though the government pushed it back, I know it's time to go.
Yeah, it's April 15th in the bedroom, Mike.
And let me tell you, the tax man had left because she was not having
Were you wearing your typical sleepwear that you had here?
Oh, my long, tall tee?
I can't show this camera anymore.
My long, tall tee. Yes, that's what I was wearing.
All right, thank you.
So
Trap in the back?
I sleep in shorts and a t-shirt, like I think most grown men. That's it. And sometimes no t-shirt, but for me,
I wear boxers.
Yeah, it's
so constricting.
Mike, I think
Don't gross
intimacy
me
is
out.
overrated.
The idea of you sleeping naked is one of the foulest things I've ever heard in my life.
I did do a lot
Figure
of
me,
holding
Mike,
hand-
sleeping naked with the tumor on my hand.
I'm making strides. I did do a lot of hand holding this past week.
Your own?
Which is good. No.
So you missed the signals that one night, and then you decided to come back, and the next morning.
Oh, she wanted nothing to do with it.
Well, it's her fault. She undercooked
because the
chicken.
timing was. You're at the stage of your marriage where timing is kind of important.
Yeah.
Why? Like, why is that even a matter? Why does it matter?
Well, I
We're
mean,
there
like
for 4 days.
she should be ready, willing, and able whenever you're ready. No, it doesn't work like that.
No, I'm not saying that. It's like
sometimes you miss that. At least in my marriage, if I miss that window, that narrow window,
I'm not a space shuttle. I'm not going for a reentry.
No, it's like trying to find a nonstop to Fort Lauderdale. There's one.
I'm in a period of time where I think I might be locked out till 2022. Based on my most recent performance, which had nothing to do with plumbing and everything to do with physical fitness after a large meal. Sweat, huffing, puffing, just out of gas. If you don't think that got me back to my Noom app and logging my calories and writing down my weight, I am back with a vengeance. I'm down 2.5 pounds in the first 2 days of the week. I am motivated.
Nothing will humble a man more than taking, well, it should at least, well, for me, than taking an L in the bedroom.
Yeah,
it's
not great.
It's
denied.
And believe me, I am being reminded of it this week on a
So
regular
you're
basis.
saying that I'm the space shuttle Discovery, and now in marriage, I have to find that reentry window to get to White Sands.
Look, here's the way you and I have always had, even though we have a huge age difference, we have always been simpatico when it comes to libido. You hear guys, Oscar and I commiserated on this a million years ago, where you will hear men talk about, oh man, I just can't get enough, that type of thing. I'm just constantly bad. Oscar and I were always very honest about the fact that it's not that way. It's not that way all the time.
I'm proud of it.
And I'm not proud of it either.
No.
But it's not. I'm just not a person that's like a dog that wants to. There's probably a time in my life where I was a little more than I
used to be as well.
Yeah.
From my 30s, mid 30s on.
Not exclusive to you guys. It's the same.
it's
You
just-
get older,
it's not-
and when you're, you also there is a certain familiarity that takes an urgency away from it too.
No, that is rude. You don't say that.
It's true though.
Jesus Christ.
Well, there's a line that I'm not going to use because it's very sexist.
All right.
But Yeah, that's you verbalized.
Do you
it,
think the women in our lives want to climb on top of us all the time either? That's
Absolutely
not.
not.
The case.
No, and that's what I'm saying. It
I'm
goes
just
both
talking
ways.
about if you look. I walk around. I see the way men look at my wife. I still desire my wife, and I, as Oscar said, I took an L the other night, and we were both a little tipsy. And it was just one of those things. And I am not as young as I used to be, but I'm being reminded of it constantly. But even in my prime, physically, well, I never had a prime physically.
No, you did. Libido-wise,
I still was not like the way I hear certain guys talk is like they're dirty, nasty dogs that are constantly 3-4 times a day if they wanted to. I've never had that chip.
Right.
I've never possessed that, and I've never felt the need to tell the world that I possess that, although I know a lot of guys. I've always thought that a lot of guys stretch the truth when they talk about how horny they are.
And do you think when they do that, it is making up for something that perhaps in real life doesn't exist?
Look, maybe, and certainly there are exceptions to every rule.
Like the Dirk
and there's certain
of the world,
guys, you're right, that are
they've got it. But they might be on HGH. Who knows? Because I don't know how that works physically and especially with biologically. For me, I feel like if at this point in my life, while I love my wife and yes, I am attracted to her and I'm a lucky man to be in her life. For me, what really gets me going is a solid P&L, because that's what matters at this point in my life.
For those of you that aren't into accounting, that's a profit and loss statement. Thank you.
I thought he was talking about something that was penal.
So she was not having anything to do with you the morning after the night where she was sending the signals.
Yeah.
Did she verbalize it and make it clear to you?
It was something along the lines as, "You lost your chance."
Oh, so she was as subtle as all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's up. She's ready for the day.
Yeah.
She's not feeling like sexy
she said,
time.
"I need some Allegra." And I was like, all right, here we go.
She's the little pollen down there on the Eastern Shore.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of pollen. But
So how many days were you down in this beautiful place?
4 days.
Oh, that's a nice little break.
Gorgeous. Mm-hmm.
And
gorgeous.
no other opportunities presented themselves.
No, but coming out of the pandemic, I've realized, Mike, this is an all points bulletin. No sweaty handshakes, no over aggressive texts. Need friends. Need new friends. Need people that want to do things, that are vaccinated. Only vaxxers, no non-vaxxers. I need to see proof.
You're looking for new friends.
Friends.
All right.
Friends.
All right. Yeah.
Please.
I would tell you that, but you had a good time, right? You did.
Oh, it was wonderful. And then walking into the office again on Friday was a breath of fresh air because you get 4 days away and you're like, wow, I love working here. This is great. Yeah. And then again on Monday, seeing you guys yesterday was great.
It's good to be back. We like what we do.
We do.
We're blessed in that way. As far as the pandemic and socializing, I was talking about maybe having a couple that we socialized with recently who have invited us to their house maybe 5 times, maybe 6 times, and we have not had them over here. And we have to do that.
So you've actually been over there that many times without returning the favor?
They've been in 2 separate houses. They had us to their old house. They had us to their new house. And we've done that, and I am embarrassed that we have not socialized with them. It's the guy that was on the show, Mark Miller.
Okay,
the
good guy,
the radio
nice guy.
He actually called you out during the holidays. He said, "You've never invited me over."
And I remember
and now
that.
It's
and
April.
now I have to. And during this process, as I am thinking about putting it, and then you know what happened? So I said, well, let's have him over this weekend. And he says, oh, that's I'm sorry, his daughter's birthday that we're going to. So we're going to go another time to their house.
Oh, no.
Without being here. And I'm going to write a piece of paper. I'm going to put it in a lovely little thank you note, and it's going to be an invitation at their leisure that they pick a weekend night where they're coming to our house and I'm cooking for them. That's what we're going to do. But I will tell you that during the pandemic, I probably surprised myself that the lack of social activity was restaurants excluded, like going to a restaurant with my wife. Not that big a deal for me. Being a recluse, if you keep my refrigerator full.
Not a big change.
Yeah, I love playing my little game. That's but somebody, I was talking to a lady the other day about the game of golf. She works at a golf course, and she was saying women play golf with women they have to like. kind of the way it works. They're not going to play golf with people they don't really, really like.
Okay.
Guys play golf with anybody.
True.
You might get off the course and say, but you play with them again because it doesn't matter. That's the difference.
Well, the companion for you is the game. That's the companion, right?
That's right. But as far as people socializing, like our boy Oscar wants here, I was thinking about that, and I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I'm cool just staying at home. Fine with that. It's where I am now. I think. Don't you think I got my socializing out when in my 40s? You know, when I owned a bar.
Oh yeah.
I was like, hey,
it's
America's host. Here I am, smoke and drink and party. Blah, 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 blah.
And prior to that, you were running with a posse. You met
your quota.
Yeah,
you met your quota for life.
Sure.
I had a posse, and that was imagine if you will, 2:30 in the morning, a bar closing, right?
Right.
And I'm sitting there, 2:30. Think about that, 2:30 in the morning. I'm in my mid 40s. 2:30 when I'm going. So, you guys ready to go on to the next location? Party at my house.
Yep.
At 2:30 in the morning. What kind of...
Oscar, that's the time he wakes up now to start his day.
Precisely. Thank you very much. Well, thank you, Charlie, for doing that.
Yes.
That looks like a beautiful place. What a wonderful place. Queenstown Harbor, if you get a chance to come to Maryland's beautiful Eastern Shore in the gorgeous spring and in the summertime, a great getaway from D.C. Yeah. Check it out. They might be sold out. They are most of the time, but if you can get a place down there, check it out. We'll come back with the homepage right after this.
Well, hey there. It's me, Winslow. I'm a Boston Terrier. I'm just like most dogs. I eat, I poop, I fat, I smell other dogs' butts, I pee on things to show ownership, but the one thing that's special about me is my owner. He's wicked smart. He uses the TMOS shopping center at michaelmarishow.com, Target, and Walmart. It's great for dog food, treats, those squeaky toys I like so bad, and carpet cleaner. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to pee wicked bad. Shop at the TMOS Shopping Center. MichaelMarishow.com. Johnny on the spot. Go Sox. Oh, and woof.
Thank you, Winslow. Appreciate that. Mother's Day, May 9th.
Right around
Everybody
the corner.
has a mother.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's right around the corner.
Really? Thank you. Everybody has a mother in their life. She might be your mom or she might be your wife. Either way, she's amazing. When your connection with her is stronger than words, tell her you love her with the love captured in Pandora jewelry. Pandora jewelry is extraordinary. Solid sterling silver and 14 and 18 karat gold. Gorgeous and with quality that's built to last. That's why I love Pandora. Amazing jewelry that will let mom know that you'll always be by her side with a message of love that she can wear every day. Pandora offers a wide variety of rings, necklaces, earrings, and bracelets, jewelry that can be customized to fit all styles and personalities with images like hearts, infinity symbols, angel wings, family trees that remind us how special mothers are. You can shop safely in-store with Pandora's styling experts or buy online with in-store or curbside pickup at select locations. Please contact your local store to learn more. We're delighted to be associated with Pandora on the Mike O'Mara Show. Thank the mom in your life for always being there with a sparkling gift from Pandora Jewelry. Shop online or in-store. Go to us.pandora.net/TMOS to start shopping or to find a store near you. That's us.pandora.net/TMOS. And we thank you, and we are so thrilled to be associated with Pandora. It is very, very cool. Love having them as a sponsor on the Mike O'Mara Show.
From the four corners of the World Wide Web and into your digital device, it's what you need to know. This is the homepage.
All right, this is a big story that broke yesterday. The U.S. population growth has slowed to the lowest rate since the Great Depression.
Yeah,
the
way
Census
to go,
Bureau,
Oscar.
Yeah, that's right. He's responsible for it because he didn't do his job.
Pay your taxes.
The Census Bureau said Monday Americans continued their march to the south and west. And the one-time engines of growth, New York and California, have lost population and therefore political influence. There's a lot of talk about congressional seats that are based on the census. Altogether, the U.S. population rose to 331 million, a little bit over that. Last year, the Census Bureau said a 7.4% increase over the previous decade. That was the second slowest ever. There's a lot of talk about how this is going to affect politics. It, in the short term, is going to benefit the Republican Party. Because you're getting more seats in places like Florida and Texas. But in the long term, demographic shifts are showing by the census that that's going to change. So it's very, very detailed. It's in the weeds. I don't want to go into it.
We have a client here at Podcast Village named Ann Pazmanik, and she hosted a show called Count on Your Census. I think it was a 12-part series. And this most recent census, with the complications of threatening the immigrants with having to put their status on, and also the fact that they were reaching out to places that didn't have internet, like reservations and places like this. This was one of the most complicated censuses ever, but they're optimistic that it's going to be one of the most accurate ever. So you are going to see these shifts, and they're going to be different than the way things have been in the past.
New York lost a seat, right?
Yeah, I believe they did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a few. They had a map of that. Experts say the paltry pace reflects the combination of an aging population, slowing immigration, and the scars of the Great Recession more than a decade ago, which led many young adults to delay marriage.
Yeah,
and
Oscar.
Families. Oscar didn't really plan on that being in the.
When you remember what it was like to not have a job, you're like,
yes, it was. It was tough, and so that's it. We're not growing as much as we were before. Apple started rolling out an update. This is I rarely give these little shills for Apple. What did he say? I missed that.
We're not growing. We're showing.
We're showing.
Actually quite the opposite.
That's me too, though.
Hello.
Look at that here. Anyway, I don't do these commercials for Apple that are billed as news, but I have to do this one because I think it's very cool. Apple started rolling out an update for the operating system for iPhones yesterday, and one of the biggest changes you'll be able to use, I already downloaded this, is the Face ID to unlock your phone even while you're wearing a mask. I use Face ID religiously,
no kidding.
But it won't let me do it like when I'm in a store, and it drives me insane. Now, I haven't tried it yet with the mask on, but apparently it's going to work with the new update. You can install it by going to Settings, then tap General, then tapping Software Update. I did it this morning. We'll see what happens. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Report back,
if it
please.
didn't work. I will report back.
And you're wearing a
because it's
Richard
very
Nixon mask when you do it, right?
Absolutely. I'm not a crook. He was a little dog named Checkers. Thank you. The creators of Framing Britney Spears, a documentary I watched, have announced their next documentary. This will be important to all of us. It'll be about Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction at the 2004 Super Bowl. It'll be an interesting take to see how they treat Justin Timberlake's role in this. After the Britney documentary, Justin got dragged enough that he issued an apology to both her and Janet for failing them in the past. Justin saw almost zero repercussions for exposing Janet's bejeweled nipple. But one of her stylists recently claimed that it was his idea. We had that story, too. No word if either Janet or Justin will take part in the movie. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But, our world changed as radio personalities, especially shock jocks, which I always hated that term, but it's what we were. That changed dramatically. We had to modify almost everything we did. And lawyers' meetings and all that stuff based on Janet Jackson.
Well, yes, but looking back at that, I don't know, for some reason, even during that era, don't you feel like I would hope that somebody within show business would let at least Janet have a choice within that? Like, do you want to show your nipple to the world? Like, it's one of these things that I feel like it would be a group consensus.
Maybe we'll find out when they make the documentary. We'll have more answers about that and see what happens. Christy Brinkley is still posting bikini photos at 67. Why? Because she can.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason. She also is doing it for the older ladies out there. She says, quote, I post these pictures because I hear from women my age all the time that say, thank you for changing the way people think about the numbers. I remember people thinking that after 30, you should never wear your hair past your shoulders or your hemline needed to hover over your kneecaps. I always found those rules so limiting. If you've got great legs, show them. If there's something about yourself that you really love, celebrate that. Don't be controlled by those numbers.
I had a similar conversation with my mom, not because we were talking about looking good, but I said, Mom, at 43, I don't really feel that old to her because I'm her youngest, but I'm the eldest. Now I'm older than she was when she had me. And she said, I got to tell you, at 70, the only people that are telling me that I'm old are my bones, and that's it. Like, but she doesn't feel mentally like she's like so much older.
And the interesting thing, you were both wearing bikinis when you had this.
Right. They continue to post the pictures, Mike.
She had this sheer outfit on.
Stop it.
All right. Stop that.
She kept saying it was time for bed. It was weird.
Thank you. Hey, this does seem like Oscar news, doesn't it, Rob?
Yeah, it does.
Rob, I'll ask you this question.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have a friend who's always late?
I can't. No one comes to mind.
If you say no, well, maybe you're that friend. 7 out of 10 groups of friends say they have a person who's pretty much always late, according to a new survey. But less than a quarter of people are willing to admit that friend, that they're that friend.
Oh, that they are the friend.
I'm that friend.
Our late guy does admit it.
Yeah,
right?
He relishes
totally,
it.
He
I'm
owns
not
it.
proud of it, but I'm not going to be...
Well, there's a little bit.
I'm accountable.
I think there's a
You
little
are
pride.
accountable.
Yeah.
47% of people say they've lied to their friend who's always late about what time something was starting. We've done that with Oscar before. That way, if the person got there late, they'd actually be on time.
We have a guest tomorrow at 7 a.m. Oscar.
7 a.m.
The survey also found we're pretty generous about what counts as late. We won't officially say someone's late until after 13 minutes. That's not us.
No.
That's for sure.
What's great about Maddie? Look, Maddie, I'm going to miss it. You know that, and I hope you come back one day when you and John decide to relocate back to D.C.
Okay.
I'm glad you said relocate because I didn't know where you're going with that sentence.
But I'm, if it happens,
or
and I'm
she can
late
come
again,
back alone. I don't give a crap about him.
Okay, well, all right, fine, we'll take her. I didn't want to be so doom and gloom.
All right.
Send him the air check.
But $10 versus $20 as a tax, that's so much easier on the pocket.
Oh, I was going to ask that. With Maddie gone, does the rate stay at 20 and Pony gets full 20?
What?
I'm just
That
curious.
sounds right.
Something. You know what? Something we'll talk about. Pony's been with us a long time.
Yeah.
The top 3 things we stress
Can't
about
last
being
forever.
late to are job interviews, doctor's appointments, and the airport. Doctor's appointments suck because when you get there on time and you sit on your ass for an hour.
And you will.
I always feel cheated. The top 3 excuses we use when late are traffic, the alarm clock not going off, and car trouble. We have heard all 3 of those.
The fourth reason is undercooked chicken.
There you go. Thank you.
That's for sexy time.
And now a little something. There's a 37-year-old guy named Keith Adams. Hi, it's the Keith Adams Get Together.
Hey, how are you?
Keith's from Largo, Florida. Shocker. The cops caught him with a glass pipe with cocaine residue on it Saturday when he was driving around with a friend. And then when they took him to jail, they found that he was trying to smuggle in drugs by hiding them inside his prosthetic leg. I feel like these are starting to repeat now.
Yeah.
I really do. The cops found fentanyl and Xanax both hidden inside his artificial leg, so he was hit with more felony drug charges. He's facing 4 total charges, and he already had 2 other drug cases pending. Of course, in Florida, when they find drugs in your artificial leg, they immediately put a lien on your house. I'm sorry. That's just terrible, horrible.
You
joke.
can't really
I'm so
explain,
sorry.
oh my God, I don't know how these fell in here.
Well, the worst part is, Mike, with the Xanax in his fake leg, his foot kept falling asleep.
Better joke. That's a good one. And we don't have a third. That means we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll come back with more stuff right after this.
Just what is it that you want to do?
Well, we want to be free to do what we want to do. And we want to have a good time. And we want to get loaded without being hassled by the man. We're going to have a party.
Mike O'Mara has no self-control.
It was a long day with many, many alcoholic beverages.
Sure.
The bus is out of control.
Oh, the
That's
bad
a
play. Yeah, I love when they go there after he says we're never going back.
Where else can you spend $150 in 4 minutes and leave angrily?
You have a serious impulse control problem.
I love food. I have an addiction to food.
Oh, get a grip, Paisan. Take control over how you listen to the Mike O'Mara Show. You can download the show on iTunes, the Google Play Store, Stitcher, and Spotify. Or join the boys every day live on the TMOS app, or watch it on Facebook Live, or streaming on the Mike O'Mara Show YouTube channel. Oh, what more can we do for you, eh? Oh, forget about it.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. I am reading my Noom app right now with my tips for the day about using psychology to be smarter. Also reminding me to log my meals, and also reminding me to log my weight, which I did today, and I did okay. I've got to step up my steps though today. Mike has had a very sedentary morning. Look at this. I'm talking about Noom. I've got the Noom app right here.
How many
Here's
steps?
It in my hot little
Tell
hand.
the world.
I'm not. All right.
2 digits?
No, not 2 digits.
Just checking.
317 steps.
Okay.
That's
There you go.
ridiculously bad. No, that's like taking the dog out and standing.
Long
and letting
leash.
him strain on the leash where he, and not moving one step. Anyway, Noom rocks. And they gave me a little attaboy today when I logged my weight.
That's good.
You think about everything you've learned about getting healthy. So much nonsense. There's a lot of contradictory information out there. I love Noom. It's got such a great food database, and it's also helps you with wonderful tips every single day. Not about what to eat, but about how you eat in general. Noom teaches you about eating so you can get smart about your food and the choices you make. And I think, in the case of Noom, I make it my own. I utilize it the way it helps me the best. Because the psychology really, really helps me with Noom. Teaches me how to eat. You don't need rules to lose weight. You need knowledge,
True.
and Noom has a ton of that. With Noom, you pick the health goals that are right for you, and Noom personalizes a weight loss program to help your aspirations become reality. If you want to really lose weight, I can't recommend it highly enough. Noom is flexible, empathetic, easy, and forgiving. If you stumble, you get back on track tomorrow. It works. It's only 10 minutes a day, and you don't have to commit to a rigorous plan. Noom works with you. So I want you to try Noom. It's a great time of year to do it before bathing suit season. Every weight loss commercials always say that. Who the hell cares about that? You want to be healthy. That's what you want to do. I love Noom. Oscar loves it. Carla loves it. There's a science to getting healthier. It's called Noom. Sign up for your trial today at Noom. That's NOOM.com/TMOS. Learn how to eat again with Noom. Sign up for your trial today at Noom. That's NOOM.com/TMOS. Ready to learn how to live healthier? Sign up for Noom. It's NOOM.com/TMOS. We gave it to you 3 times. You should know it now. Learn it, live it. All right, time for some recommendations. I want to do this for you. Mayor of Easttown on HBO. Either one of you see it yet? Have you watched it?
Yet. No.
It is a.
It's about the town on Route 50, right?
Eastern Shore, yes.
No.
Easttown.
Oh, not Easton. Easttown.
No,
sorry.
It's Easttown. It takes place. I saw a license plate last night on the episode 2. I think it hits on Sunday nights on HBO. I DVR'd it, and I think it takes place in Pennsylvania. It is my kind of show. Depressing and no characters that you like. There you go. That's what I want in my crime drama. You got a lady. She is the poster child for depression.
I've seen the previews for this.
Yes.
So this
She's
is a series
Debbie Downer.
you can't binge this. This is like you got to watch it. Right?
Well, if you can, I went to like all the different HBO things they had and tried to, but I don't think you can
get that.
One episode a week.
It's like a regular TV show, but it's very good and it's got good character development and it's super depressing. So that's how I like my crime stories.
One plot point.
So the plot point is that she has had a family tragedy that she is a hometown high school sports hero turned detective, and she has had a terrible life and a very frustrating life and personal tragedies that make her a sullen, surly,
it's Kate Winslet.
miserable.
Yeah, and it's
Kate Winslet. It's the girl from Titanic, and she's.
I was looking for Mayor. It's Mayor.
It's Mayor.
M-A-R-E. Okay.
Like.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you. Wow.
Yeah. She is. She's a marvelous actress. I don't have to tell you that. And she's really, really great. The other thing I wanted to tell you is a book that I'm probably late to the party. I know I'm late to the party because I think it's a 2015 book. But man, oh man, to get me to tear through a 500-page novel is saying something. I love this book. It's Kristen Hanna, who has written another novel I like, but this book is called The Nightingale, The Nightingale, and I cannot be without this book for more than 5 minutes. They're turning this book into a movie in 2022, so you're going to see this. It takes place in World War II France, and it is absolutely stunningly great character development. If you like a good book, I can't even tell you. It's been out a while. There are a lot of people who are nodding like, well, why is he recommending that now? Because it came across my desk, and I like it because I liked another book that I read from Kristen Hanna. And by the way, I'm really bad. This is why I was bad at school. That's why I barely got out of American University. I'm really bad at remembering the titles that I read before. And there was one other book, I think it's about Alaska, that Kristen Hanna wrote. But she is a magnificent author, and this book will captivate you. And then my third little TV rec, it's making the rounds around cable again, and it still holds up after all these years. For the dummies out there, I love it as much as you do. Ted. There's just, I judge a comedy by how long a comedy lingers with me.
Yep.
And when I went back and hadn't seen it in maybe 1 or 2 years and watched this movie, and Mark Wahlberg is so goddamn funny in this movie. Those are my recos. I just thought
is Ted a movie? And be honest with me, because every kid mature. Like I was watching Police Academy when I was a toddler. It feels like with my parents.
Right.
Not understanding all of it, but liking the guy that made all the noises.
I couldn't sit down with my 7-year-old and watch Ted.
No.
It is super. It's super naughty. I mean, it's really just the line. Although, I know my child is a sponge. He's playing a video game with his mother's giant Megatouch the other day, and he says, "Don't be a charlatan." What? Like, where did you get that? And Carla looks over and said, "What is charlatan?" I said, "Phony, imposter. That's a charlatan." I don't know why. I said, "Michael, where'd you get it?" TV. He didn't know what it meant. She didn't understand it. And they went on with their game.
Wow.
That's what they played.
Charlatan.
Look, you do the best you can.
Yeah.
I am not. Look, I try to be as good a father. We loosely supervise his screen time.
Yeah.
He is not allowed to play a lot of his video games during the week. That is a weekend activity that he does. When he gets things done, be it Spanish lessons, piano, that type of thing, he gets a little screen time. That's it. As far as when he's on his own and he's in that room, I don't think, we've gone through his YouTube multiple times. You know, and it's not like he's watching microkinis or anything like that. He's basically watching kids unboxing videos.
Yeah,
but also you need to know, Oscar, Robert is closing in on 19 years old. I mean, he's an adult. He could be in the Army if he wanted to be. He's an adult by almost any stretch of any estimation.
Save you a few dollars if he did that. If he made that choice.
Well, I don't know. If we fell to the Russians, it might not be worth it. So we'll see. It's a trade-off. But
who was on guard duty? It was that Spiewak boy.
The Spiewak boy stopped for snacks.
That's
but
right. When did they come in? They came in by the ocean, and they only went 2 inches out into the sea.
But I still get uncomfortable if a racy joke is in a movie when I'm with him, because in my head he's still my son, and he can go to R-rated movies for days now, and it's fine.
Are such better fathers than my father was. My dad would have. The only awkward person in the room would be me or my brother or sister. My dad might as well be playing Emmanuel in space. And he's like, look at the TV.
Emmanuel in space.
I remember being in a movie theater and going to a horror movie. I don't think I was with Carla, and I might have been with some guys. I'm not sure. This was I don't even remember the horror movie, but it was like a slasher movie. Really nasty. And like a Hispanic family came in, and they had, I believe, like a 3-year-old with them. Is that anything that you would think that is common among Latin families where they're a little less culturally stressed about that kind of content?
So I'll answer it with this. Yes, they don't care, and I don't know if it's healthy. There's a picture, like what looks to be a drawn, like etched picture, like the one from Titanic, where draw me like your French ladies. In my parents' room, in their bedroom right now, still, of a nude woman. Oh my God. The size of, if it's floor to ceiling, it's supposed to be art. I don't know if it's my mom. I don't want to know. And I remember as a little kid walking in being like, well, that's different.
Your French ladies.
So they have a nude woman over the bed?
Could be be my mom. I don't know.
Well, is it over the bed, to the side of the bed? Is it on the ceiling?
It is directly over the headboard.
Okay.
All right. Tomorrow. All right. We need to set aside some time. I don't want you to answer right now. I want to ask about this.
It's wild.
It could be your mother, you think?
In the 43 years on this planet, I don't have the cojones to ask.
Wow.
I don't.
We must delve into that.
Yeah.
We must delve into that. That is fantastic.
I'm too scared to know.
So you were shown, or it wasn't a concern that you were observing certain things on screen.
This painting, or this not lithograph, this drawing, like with a pencil,
charcoal, maybe.
Something. I don't know.
We'll get to the picture tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm talking about TV and things like that.
Yeah, manual in space.
They did not care. It said hard R X. It's on TV.
X. Okay.
X.
Watch right now.
Yeah.
Because in the Latin culture, nudity isn't, at least it's not like anything that's crazy. I remember going over my Tio's house. Now they lived a little more liberal house than the old Fantana's, but there'd be Playboys on the coffee table.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was.
That's exciting.
And you're like, this
Can we
is
go see them again?
Let's go with that. Fun. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. We got to dive into you again tomorrow. Jesus Christ. I want to find out about that picture.
My dad would come back from anywhere like Ghana, and for every place he went, he didn't come back with like a flute made out of like onyx. It was always a naked lady made out of something.
Really?
We'll be right back.
Huh.
What is going on?
Very, very sad day for all of us on the show as we are losing one of our own. Ladies and gentlemen, Maddie Masiello is heading to New York City. She is following the love of her life, John, who has gotten his first job.
Our baby is going to leave us, and we won't have any others. Not without a miracle.
I'm nervous. I'm going to be sad, I think, when it really sinks in and I leave. Mostly I'm excited, like an a-hole.
Hi, this is Jim Amato.
And Twitch.
Speaking on behalf of all the listeners in TMOS Nation, we want to say thank you and best of luck to Maddie Masiello.
You've been terrific on the show, and like the guys in the studio, we're all going to miss you.
Bon voyage, Maddie.
All of America loves you. Long live the Queen.
You've been really terrific on the show, and we're really going to miss you.
Did he swallow the Bon Voyage?
I mean, he's been doing promos for a long time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he really has. What happened to him?
Well, you know what? He redid the fault with the one yesterday was Paulie, and that was recut. He fixed that. So maybe we need more coats in the closet when you record, Mark.
Okay.
Sound baffling.
Anyway, welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. A message from Cornerstone. Mortgage rates fell again last week, suggesting that the market isn't all that concerned about inflation just yet. The 30-year fixed-rate mortgage dropped to its lowest level in around 2 months, and mortgage applications surged 10% last week based on the news. I closed 2 weeks ago.
Of course.
Yeah! Nah, you're still low.
Yeah, you're in good shape.
Low.
You're in good shape.
I just want perfect. With rates moving daily in the mortgage industry, you need to work with a team you can trust. And the only one I trust is my friend Mark Livingstone and his team at Cornerstone. I've done two financing deals with them. My home and then my refi. Mm-hmm. They're fantastic. Even if you're working with another company, use Cornerstone as a sounding board to make sure you're getting the best deal for you and your family. They know what they're doing. We all have experience. All three of us have used Cornerstone. We do not do these endorsements lightly. Whether it's a new home purchase or a refinance to take cash out, Cornerstone First is a direct lender and will guarantee to meet or beat any offer. The professionals at Cornerstone First are standing by now. 202-625-1221. That's 202-625-1221 or cornerstonefirst.com. Remember, here's the number again. 202-625-1221. Or cornerstonefirst.com. Call now. Cornerstone First Financial Personal Attention from application to closing. Let's get this thing over here because you've been saving them up after an entire week. It's very, very special. Some of them had some sand in them, but this is really terrific. Francis McDormand, ladies and gentlemen.
So, still one of the #1 celebrities on Cameo is Gilbert Gottfried. Now, you know Cameo is that service where you pay a set fee and a celebrity does a message.
Doesn't allow me to do it.
Right, exactly.
Oh, no, I said you could.
No, but I think you advised against it.
Yeah, I mean, Mike doesn't like I said, I'll say it again. Mike hates it when we ask him for impressions, let alone
If David Hasselhoff could do it, I can do it, okay? Right. Come on.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think that they
I reached out, and it was just a pain in the ass, and they never got back to me, so I'm not sure what's going on with that, and I quit. I quit on it like twice. I've tried it twice, and then it's like, oh, get in touch with our team, blah, 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 blah.
Cameo
like
team.
I'd like to do.
Well, the people that are responsible for Mortal Kombat, very popular video game, Oscar.
Yes.
They reached out.
Now movie.
Yes, they reached out to Gilbert Gottfried to do a cameo, and I don't know if he knew they were going to do this. They inserted him into the Mortal Kombat theme. So if you watch the video, there's
Wait
actually...
a minute. Now, is this like the real game, or did they just do this as shtick?
This is a promotional piece that's on YouTube, but it's the theme...
Also, to keep in mind that the latest Mortal Kombat that was supposed to be in theaters...
Right.
Also came out on HBO Max, is available now.
So they're doing some promotion here, but I do like this with Gilbert Gottfried doing lines from Mortal Kombat in the actual theme.
Test your mind! Test your mind! Test your mind! Test your mind! Mortal
What's the line?
Is it test your life?
Test your might.
Oh, test your might.
Too much. God almighty, please. It's like every bad YouTube video. Stop. God.
You know, the kids love it.
Pain in the ass.
The kids love it.
But it's like every bad video I've ever seen on YouTube with the overbearing soundtrack. You know, I was hoping more Gilbert and less.
Perhaps he was limited on his cameo time.
Did I sound old, farty enough?
No. It was annoying.
Youthful and plugged in. Right. North Carolina, Mike, you go to Target, you want to buy some canned goods.
Okay.
Oh, no. It goes wrong, and this woman tells you why.
I thought it was a child's toy. So I thought, oh my goodness, somebody's pranking me. Where's the camera? You know, this is a joke, because it was totally still. I was going to take a photo. The tongue came out. And that's how I knew this is a real snake. I looked up and down the aisle. I was freaking out, calmly freaking out. This is North Carolina, and this is snake season, and there is a snake on top of the baked beans here. Pretty exciting, and a story I'll be telling for years.
Mike, it's snake season in North Carolina, and there was a live snake on top of the baked beans.
That's Betty Boring who relayed that story. I freaked out quietly. I didn't want to draw attention to myself, but, you know, it was, it turns out it was, what if she maintained that demeanor and she was bitten and it was Australia, you know? I freaked out quietly. Then the black mamba bit my hand, and my skin began to atrophy. And they didn't have anti-venom.
I went over and I got a scarf, and I made a curious little tourniquet, quietly.
You remember that guy we had on the show, Be Brave, Stay Strong, or whatever that guy is, Coyote Peterson?
Yeah, exactly.
So he did a thing where he went down to Australia, and they had the venom milkers that are in this special room in Australia.
We had a couple of those at VCU.
There's no way to describe the bravery with they are dealing with snakes that can kill you quickly. Mm-hmm. And they do this thing. He's got it looks like a little plexiglass sphere on the end of a pole. Then he brings the snake out. A giant, horrible, like a taipan, one of the most lethal snakes in the world. And he mashes down the snake's head with the plexiglass sphere and then grabs it. It was amazing. It was just amazing to watch.
Mike, did you watch any golf this weekend?
Very little. Didn't watch a lot of that tournament.
Australian golfer Cameron Smith won. And his most notable feature is probably his mullet, yeah.
Right.
And he has been telling his girlfriend for a long time that if he ever wins on the PGA, he's going to cut his mullet off. But he went back on his promise.
I told the missus that I'd cut it if I won, but everyone loves it. I've got a lot of attention, I guess, a lot of support out in the golf course with it. So, I don't know, it might hang around for longer than I anticipated, but I don't know. I think it's a good thing. It's just something different. Everyone has a laugh. I love it.
When he says everyone loves it, it might be overstating it.
I think he's overstated, but let me tell you what this guy brings. This guy, how do I describe him? He's one of the originals on the PGA Tour. They need these quirky weird guys.
You're right.
First of all, he looks like he's 12. He's got this tiny little like kid's mustache that he got. He's got the mullet, and he wears shirts that are too tight, and he's got a little schlubby body for a skinny guy. He's what I call skinny fat. You know what I'm talking about? And he is a fantastic player. But it's funny to watch because apparently he's got a real quirky personality as well. That's what the PGA Tour, instead of these robots that come one at a time, this guy, keep your mullet, keep your personality. I love to see a guy like that win.
Cool. All right, let's close with this, Mike. Helium, as you know, lighter than air, and it makes balloons go up, right? But the best thing about helium is if you suck it in, it makes your voice really high because it's not a dense gas. However, there are dense gases, and the two we're going to hear here are called hexafluoride and perfluorobutane. These are heavier than air. So I don't know how safe this is, but when this guy sucks them in, his voice gets low, like Satan low. So this is the opposite of helium.
This is sulfur hexafluoride, otherwise sometimes known as the deep voice gas. But what happens if I breathe in a gas that's even denser? This is perfluorobutane. If sulfur hexafluoride is the deep voice gas, this is the deeper voice gas. I am the Dark Lord Featherbed, and I've come to eat your shit. Wow, that's actually kind of hard to get back out of your lungs. When talking is actually kind of difficult.
He's like talking that all day long. Helium.
I don't even remember what I said there.
Wow.
And Mike, if you want to find hexafluoride, there's a large stash of it at Dude Walker's house. You can find it out there. That's your digital dumpster. Have a great day, everybody.
Wow, that's scary. I don't like sucking stuff in like that. You never know what that's going to do to you, you know?
I know.
Go to Buzz's house. He probably likes that stuff. That's it. Anyway, didn't he use what were those things? Whippets?
Whippets. He likes, laughing gas.
We got to take our leave. We will be back with another show. Later on in the week, we have a very special guest. Duff Goldman has a brand new show coming up on the Discovery Plus that he's going to come and join us and talk about. It's Duff's Happy Fun Bake Time, and he'll be joining us for Thursday's show. So if you are a Duff fan, Ace of Cakes, Charm City Cakes in Baltimore, check it out. That's going to be on Thursday's show. For Oscar Santana and Robb Spiewak, Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Oh, good for you.
All you people want is more. Leave Britney Spears alone right now.
It ain't over until it's over.
She wants a D, and she's going to get one.